So today I'm in California at the Mojave National Preserve, and we're going to be checking out what I found on Google Maps, which is right in these mountains in the distance. Interestingly enough, there's a giant gate around the road. There's the cabin straight ahead of us. This is a pretty well-beloved cabin in SoCal. I've just never been out to this area to see this old mine operation. So you have the old cabins, and then up above in these mountains, that's where the rest of this mine is. And we're gonna go see the adits and all the remains. So let's head up there. I see to the left of the road that it has endured some erosion. We could easily go past that. It's honestly not that bad of a drive up. That is a sick abandoned pickup truck. The first thing I wanted to see coming up is this pickup truck. It's just all been looted. I wonder what kind of truck it is. I know the Jeeps had these, but I honestly don't know. You'll have to let me know. This was way before my time. So basically what we're gonna do is we'll head off to the right soon, but then we're gonna look at these cabins real quick. Still got the windmill going. And then there it is, the cabin, and then looks like a shed next to it. It would have been crazy to work a mine like this where there's no water anywhere. There's definitely no groundwater. So everything has to be trucked in. Food, supplies, you can't grow anything out here. Only thing that grows is sagebrush and the occasional Joshua tree. Oh, no way. It wasn't a shed, it was another cabin. That was the shower. So if you wanted, you could still take a shower in here with that bucket. And that's the floor with the drainage. Let's see what this is about. Oh, an old newspaper. Let's see how old it actually is. December 2025. All right, that's not too old. Or just some cloths. I'm wondering if there'd be a logbook. Oh, wow! Old school typewriter. That is so cool. It was a, hey, I had one of these, not this old, but I used to have a typewriter when I was a kid. It was also a Royal. It was, I mean, one of the more modern ones from like the 80s, you know? It wasn't like this though. That is freaking awesome. I love it. I can't believe there's a typewriter here. It almost looks like a giant freezer. So that would have continued just into a storage area. And now there's just supplies, some rat traps set out. Then the other side is a bed, and then the stove to heat this place up. And basically, you know, you could put your pad out and sleep. I've done that before when traveling. And then just the window looking out. Then there's a fire pit if you do camp out here. I would imagine there's probably groups that come out and they all have little seats all around. I don't know if I have that many people to come with me on these, but we'll keep going up. What would have this been? interesting structure. Maybe it's like a shade area, you know, they'd put it up for protection. Then going in, this should be a lot of fun. Oh, you could definitely sleep in here. Some of these volunteer cabins, I see like a bunch of rat crap, but this one's different. There's a map. Bakersfield, yeah. You don't want to go there. I'm from California, and it's funny because everyone from SoCal craps on Bakersfield. Everyone from NorCal, it's like, whoa, you don't want to end up in Bakersfield. It's just it's the armpit of California. No offense to anyone. Maybe I wonder if my home is out here. Yeah, it doesn't show enough of Northern California. My home's out about up here, where I used to live anyway. And San Bernardino. I've always wanted to come exploring out in this area too. Just haven't had the chance. All the books left too. Some old lights, a radio. It's crazy to see all this stuff. And I love that it hasn't been ruined or vandalized. Oh, whoa. Look at that old chest. I'd like an old chest like that, you know? That's awesome. Yo, there's just so much. I don't even know what area to go to because there's more rooms up ahead. There's the logbook. We'll take that out in a second and sign it. And then California flag. That's the old stove. And then the pipe. Hey, the clothing line, you see that right here? That's where they would have hung up their clothing to dry. And then really the only other thing in this one room is this picnic table. That's the mine tunnel itself. I don't even know if we could get into it. There's the ore cart tracks on both sides. And then some photos from the people who fixed this place up and contributions. Another one. Okay, let's keep looking. Like, come into the kitchen. And then there's another room there. This is a huge kitchen, though. There's a lot here. Just the paper plates and the cups. Road ends, fun begins. Oh yeah, that just comes right back out to over here. Kind of where the windmill is. Oh, no way. They have this all hooked up. So you could actually do kitchen work here, you know. You could do your cooking and just light that up if there's propane. I think these are mostly just empty, just signs of rats in them. Yeah, that's all the canned goods. Since there's rats, you gotta keep it locked up. The clock's still ticking. Even the clock is still ticking. I don't know how good, it's not really working, but it is still ticking. And the time is accurate. Yeah, the matches and everything else they used to fix it up. Then they left waters, tons of water. So if you get stranded, this would be a godsend, man. This whole place would. Alright, let's keep going. In memory of Horse Ranch nearby, 1967. Whiskey Flats Days. This would have been the pantry. That just goes up into the attic. I just love seeing places where everybody's just fixed it up and nobody's vandalized. There's no spray paint or anything. It is just incredible. But that's it for these houses. Now we're got to go up and see the mine operation. That's what I'm most excited about, is seeing what's left of that. But I did enjoy looking around here. So this was an old gold and silver operation, and now that we've finished up all these buildings, we're gonna drive up and keep going up this mountain. The road looks pretty easy going, so I probably will just stay in two-wheel still and see where this mine operation is. I'm not even that far off from the houses yet, and you don't see it at first, but you come up on this hillside and look over to the left, and there's this old adit that has unfortunately been gated off sometime in the last few years. The sides have been dug out. That's interesting to see. Then over here, it's pretty empty. There's an old bed. Imagine one of the miners just lived right outside of the mine. Then the mine itself, that's all gated off. The ore cart tracks continue, and I bet you that photo inside the cabin is of this mine. Some sort of old production building, and then straight up from here, I see an ore chute where the main adits would have been. This looks kind of like a milling operation of some sort. The road started to get super rocky, but I have made it, and this is just gonna overlook. This is where one of the ore chutes were for the lower adits. And way down below, that's where those houses were. So the miners would have walked all this way to get up to this upper section. Look at that axle. Old piece of equipment. I bet it was a dump truck. But then these ore cart tracks continue into this adit, which is right up above the road. I believe these upper workings were an incline shaft. Here's the ore bin for it. Would have been a one chute, but a huge reservoir. And basically they would take everything from the incline shaft, bring it into this ore chute, down those ore cart tracks. So this was an incline shaft. That's the head frame, which means this was the main haulage tunnel. All the ore that came out and came up on this, all ore chutes and everything, would have come right out of here. The wheel up here is still intact as well. So you still have that where the ore buckets would have been hoisted up. So basically, while there is a ladder, miners would not have used this as a route to get into the mine. Instead, they would have taken one of the other sections where this cuts through. I love seeing this hoist though. So yeah, what's fenced in, that was where the miners entered this mine. More than likely, those lower sections we looked at probably connect as well. But now I'm gonna head down because there's also a second level. You see, we're at the third level. We seen the first level originally, which was that small little attic we seen all gated up. There was a second level I drove right past. So I gotta get turned around and then do that. I'm still getting to Nova Tacoma. That should be enough turnaround zone, but I really haven't off-roaded it too much. This is my first test in the Tacoma, especially with a camper on top of it. And it's performed really well so far, but I'm still getting to know it. After my embarrassing 20-point turn, I finally can head down the mountain, but it was so tight because this is a huge truck. I'm still getting to know it. I owned this Suzuki for so long, I knew that thing inside and out. It's gonna take a while with the Tacoma, but I backed up here and came up because there's not much room to really turn around. I'm sure in 3-5 months or so I'm gonna have this pat down where this will be nothing, but for now I was a little bit nervous. I've made it to the second section, really the last spot we have to look at. There's this old pickup bed from like a 1950s or 60s truck with all these mangled ore cart tracks coming out. And this also had a ore chute coming out here. Unfortunately, it's all pretty much gone. Made it down from that upper area. A little bit sketchy, but we did it. Unfortunately, they're all gated off as well. And I think this is a big issue we're gonna run into in Southern California, is the constant gating off of the mines. I wouldn't go down that anyway. That is a steep incline. This was also a main haulage. So connected to this was the ore cart tracks. Oh, that mine is so warm. That's what causes that. I've never come up to a mine where it's warm like that. They always are 10 or 15 degrees cooler than what it is outside. This mine is blasting with heat. That's weird. I don't know, I've never ran into that before. So I'm outside of Baker, California, right in the distance, and Baker's known for overpriced gas, and one of the ways you could get to Death Valley. That's about it. Well, it also has the world's tallest thermometer, which is over there, but that's more of a tourist scam. So this is my camping spot, and my plan is for the next few days, I'm gonna be exploring around Baker. I got some mountains over that way I wanna see. The mine operation Brannigan mine that we seen today was way in those mountains in the distance. So I've been driving for about 25 minutes to get where I'm at today. And I'm just gonna base my spot around Baker for now for the next 2 days. After 2 days, the third day, which is gonna be Wednesday, I'm gonna be driving all the way back to Idaho. And that should be a lot of fun driving all through Utah. But yeah, it performed fantastic. I haven't off-roaded the camper until today's episode, and it's done fantastic. It's really well made. These campers tend to cost a lot more than competition, but they also have great build quality, and there's not too many complaints about them. I'm very happy with mine. So yeah, I'm gonna set up camp and call this our spot tonight. It is beautiful out here in the middle of absolute nowhere. There's another camping spot over here. When I first picked up the topper on the way I spent the night, just in the back of my truck over there. Now there's a cop hanging out over there, probably having his lunch break, so that's why I skipped it and came to this spot instead. So yeah, I'm gonna get set up, and as always, you guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's adventure. Put a like, comment down below, subscribe, stay tuned.